Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne. This is a prophetic blueprint. If you're watching this, I don't know your name, but you're just this stunning model, absolutely stunning. The problem is with stunning girls is everyone sees how beautiful they are. I wrote an article years ago, 15 years ago, called True Love, Why is That Stunning Girl Dating That Ugly Guy? And I based it on me. I thought I was ugly at the time. I was certainly overweight, not really desirable to a lot of women. And I based it on me, and I just projected myself into a relationship with this stunning girl. Wonderful article, but I've done a study on stunning women, and I'm not intimidated by them. Actually, I've spent a lot of time, interesting enough, with Mary Magdalene from 2,000 years ago, and I've met and walked with her about 400 times, and she encourages me to speak beautiful things to stunning women, and she'll stop me in the street as I walk past, and she'll take me back to a stunning girl and have me do a reading like you believe a clairvoyant. I'm not a clairvoyant, I'm a prophet. And a prophet is a born-again Christian who's got a powerful relationship with God and becomes like a spokesman for God. And that's something you're going to be in the future, and it's on your blueprint. And all you need is a good example in life, not someone preaching, not someone preaching Christianity. But at the end of this, it'll be overwhelming. I warned you in the text that it's going to be overwhelming and it's going to sound too much. I'll give you a clear warning that this is going to sound too much. And just like you're stunning and beautiful and like a cut above, and some girls say I'm handsome, but an overweight guy who hasn't got a lot of money really wouldn't have a chance with a girl like you being in relationship with. And that may be true at the moment, but in years to come, I'll have the wealth and I'll have to lose weight with the right sort of girl helping me lose weight. And many girls in the world will want to possess me. Just like a basketballer does a slam dunk, I'm certainly capable of jumping up to the hoop and dunking this one. And you'll find this really impressive, and you'll find it really nice. And some of these things that I call a prophetic blueprint, some of these things on your blueprint are going to involve me. Actually, one of them surprised me that you're going to start like the world's best dating site. And I've done 25 years in it. It's basically 25 years research. And it's basically my concept and my idea, but you'd be a very good face for it. I don't really need money from it. But I think that we'll partner together and put something together really well. Normally I do 9 points, and I said that I do 9 points. I've never had one with 15 points. Believe me, I could have 30 points with you. God is pretty amazing, and you seem to be really amazing yourself. I don't think anyone's seen you as deep as I can see you. These are just 15 points, but I'm sure they could be 50. I think you're pretty young. I forget how old you are. I really didn't take notice. I really just saw how good your profile was, and I connected with who you were. And Mary Magdalene and the Holy Spirit and God all jumped on me and said, "Write to this woman." And so I did what I was told. And you don't have to believe in my God. That's fine. I'm so confident in who I am. As we meet face to face and talk and become good friends, you'll come to know God. God will speak through me to you, and it'll bring you to tears, and it'll make you laugh and cry and get all sorts of emotion. And I can do that. I can speak in God's voice, and you know that it's not me speaking anymore. He'll start telling things about yourself that no one's ever known. So I am so confident. I'm such a good Christian that I don't have to convince anyone. But Like you think this is a psychic reading or reading from a clairvoyant, it's the same gift, but this is coming from the Creator, not an ascended spirit, not a demon, not whatever that clairvoyants use. This is coming from God Himself. And I've done, you can look up on my YouTube. I've only really got 9 or 10 points for most people. This is the most comprehensive one I've ever done. And I think that's Mary Magdalene in me. And she's exquisite. She'll make you look plain. Mary Magdalene, she's just cut above. She's my best friend and she'd love to talk to you. She says hi. Get in touch with Matthew, because Matthew really understands the pretty women. So this is just such an honor for him. And so Mary's taken over my voice at the moment. So believe in Matthew and don't doubt him. He's only got good intentions. And before you finish your relationship, if you ever finish a relationship with Matthew, if you ever part ways, you're going to cry many times with his honesty, with what he brings out in you, what he touches your deepest parts. And no one will ever see you as deep as Matthew, and no one will understand you as good as he does. And I hope, personally, as Mary is speaking, I hope that you really do meet a wonderful husband one day who can stand beside you, help you become everything that you're created to be. But whether that ends up to be Matthew or I didn't even like I saying that, so that's me butting in, or he walks with you until you meet that exquisite man that can handle you. Whatever the case is, just extend your. I need my intellect to carry Mary's voice. She's trying to say a word I can't. Suspend your doubt and just believe. Faith and belief and hope are some of the strongest things, and just have hope and belief that the person who's going to give you this blueprint, Matthew, is someone who won't hurt you. Everyone hurts people by mistake, but won't intentionally hurt you, and will be with you until your end of days, until the day that you say goodbye. He'll be with you and support you, and he won't want anything from you except your true friendship back to him. And wherever that takes both of you, it seems like from this blueprint you're going to be in business together, in many businesses. But I'll hand you back to Matthew. Matthew's never done a blueprint, with my voice, but I want to touch you. And you hang out around Matthew and I'll speak to you. Matthew will even teach you so you can see me, and you can see me speaking to you, and I'll become your best friend. I really want to walk with you and mentor you into being someone like a queen, as powerful as Melania Trump. So with that all being said, I'll hand you back to Matthew. So hi, this is Matthew. That was Mary Magdalene. I think you would have heard of her out of history. So point number, with all that said, I'm just nervous. Mary had an introduction, so we'll get into it. Number one, you'll be a trainer in success, a success coach. You'll have books, videos, and even interviews on TV. So one of the best ways to become a success coach is to have success. So I've written 55 books and self-published, spent about $90,000 on it. And I've got a measure of success in being able to write and publish books. And I have 700 to 1,000 people reading them a month. And but I haven't even reached a level that when I become well-known, so those books will become. So to coach people in success, you've got to have a measure of success. I imagine as an international model, you have a measure of success and you can coach in that. But as you come to come into understanding your inner child. I even put you in touch with counsellors that can counsel and coach your inner child. As you come in touch with who you really are, and as you see who you really are, and Matthew sits opposite you and tells you who you really are and your qualities, then you become more and more in tune with who you are, and you really become who you're meant to be. And when you rise up and you have success in business and money and finances and all sorts of things, when you've risen up in that success and achieving success, you'll write the books and you'll make the videos. You'll be interviewed on TV. Number 2, a prophetic voice, a prophet like me that hears God and can give readings, right? So if you call this a reading, because that's what a clairvoyant does and that's all you know, but you're going to become a prophet like me. One day, it doesn't have to be this year or 5 years' time, but one day you'll be so touched and influenced by my friendship that your heart will melt and you'll know that God really exists, and he speaks through Matthew, and you want to know Matthew's God and get in touch and get in tune and get gifted like I am. And when that happens, then God will start talking to you, and Jesus will start talking to you. You'll start to have this gift flowing, and you'll be able to do everything that I do, and do it powerfully. And then you'll be able to speak on behalf of God into issues, to people, to individuals, to countries, to cities, to mayors, to CEOs, to government leaders, to presidents, to prime ministers, to powerful, hitting, big people. Along with that, as the Spirit of God comes upon you, you'll have supernatural wisdom, you'll have supernatural revelation, you'll have amazing intellect, and that's really something in your future that I see. It's not that I have to convert you. I don't have to convert anyone. Anyone, like I say in my profile, anyone that spends enough time with me sees the reality of Jesus Christ. And I'm not preaching that at you. I'll have to look up my camera, but you'll come to see him. And in your future, you're going to be just as powerful, if not more powerful than me. One thing I will say about women who are really pretty and stunning like you are, I haven't seen your face, but you seem tremendously gorgeous. You've got power, you've got authority, and with that beauty you can do powerful things, more than what just I can do. And you can be a more powerful voice as someone who's really beautiful. Same as Melania Trump has real power when she speaks, she's just got power. She speaks 5 languages, so I have to meet her one time. Number 3. Now, this is the one that we'll partner in. You're going to start a website like this, like a sugar daddy website, but it's going to be a lot bigger than that. There's a company that does Rent a Friend. Rent a Friend, it's called. You can pay $30 up to $50 for an hour with a girl or an hour with a guy, and just go out to the movies, or the movie would be 3 hours, so it'd be $150. But go for coffee, go on rides, go sightseeing, go to the beach, go bushwalks. People have a whole lot of interest, and they do the interest together and pay a girl $50 to come and do it with them. This is the more ethical sort of website. But we can raise up a website like this one you're on, where genuine, heavy-hitter, beautiful women with intelligence, knowledge, and capabilities can look for important, exquisite, fine gentlemen, businessmen, and wealthy men, and we'll have protocols on that website that no cheapskates can get into it, and no one, one of the protocols on this website that I've done some thought, and it's one of the reasons I've joined this website, is that you can just say you're worth 100,000. Well, my books are worth 100,000, so I was pretty well able to say that I was. But a good 80% of the guys on this site, it sounds, just type that in and just want to hire girls $300 for sex and stuff. And I've heard some dreadful stories, right? So one of the ways to register this account is you got to send a typed letter with an official letterhead of an accountant, and the website's going to ring the accountant and say, "Is this your letter? Did you write this? And is he really worth $1.2 million? Yes, okay, thanks a lot." And then that'll be certified. But the letterhead will have to come through with the personal mobile phone of the accountant, and they'll be rang and authenticated that the only people on this site are truly wealthy people worth 100,000. The 80% won't be here. I wouldn't even be here because I haven't got 100,000 net worth, right? So the tire kickers won't be there. So then I'll have qualifications on the women too, and they're going to have to not be after the man's money, but looking for really a life partner who's a wealthy businessman. And Satan sort of comes over me with this cough and uses. You probably don't understand who Satan is, but you've heard who he is. But this asthma has just been going on, and people who watch me on YouTube realise that the deeper I get with one of God's messages, the more this attacks me. So you're going to have the Rent-A-Friend part of the website where men can just pay $50, and Rent-A-Friend is truly platonic relationships, and the girls won't perform or do anything that's romantic, right? And so you sign up knowing that and agreeing to that. Then you have the sugar dating part of the website, and then you'll have normal dating for non-Christians. Then you'll have all sorts of spiritual beliefs datings, Buddhist and stuff, and it'll all be specifically, it'll all be part of this huge hub. And when you come in, it'll say, what do you identify most as? Are you this, 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 and this? And as people press that, they'll go into different dimensions of the website and be part of the same mother website, but interacting on its own website specifically. And I can see you, setting this up with me, but maybe even being the CEO over the Sugar Daddy website part of it. And I don't care about ratings. I don't care about where it's going to be ranked in the world, how long it becomes before it becomes popular. When we do what we do, that there won't be any dating site in the world competing as we grow. There'll be nothing getting near it because they're all after money, and they really don't care about putting people together. Otherwise, there'd be protocols in this website, and you wouldn't be able to get in by saying you're worth 100,000. They really don't care. And the website that you're part of is almost more refined prostitution by most of the women. They're really not interested in a connection. Number four, you'll be a coach, a life coach. So you'll be able to, with your prophetic gift, as you become very intuitive and can move and hear things about people and see things, and you can already do that. As you can see things and hear things, you can meet with people and tell them and give them direction on their dreams, the desires, the goals and stuff, and give them month by month direction and help. You also number 5, you're going to be a healer, a counsellor, a therapist, without training, without official training, 4-year training, or the psychology and garbage teacher. I've got an expert I've got a couple of experts who are very good at really a powerful spiritual healing, and I'm going through healing every second day. And they're really powerful. One of the guys, Orty, who's a friend of mine, who's working on my new website, be on my new website in 6 weeks. He can coach you on how to do this healing, and it's really effective and it's really good. And I can see you being a healer with his sort of tutorship and healing, and just that one alone could earn you enough money to really be supported well. But the sort of thing like this, like I'm doing for you, it's not a money thing. Honestly, in years to come, one of these will be like $5,000 from me, not $150. And you do these sort of things, you do healing, and you do coaching. You don't do it for the money, you do it to see the full potential of a person come out. To be a good healer, to be a good therapist, you've got to have had some pain and some trauma that you get through. And I'll help you, if you haven't got the money, I'll pay the money to get you healed and coached by Orty and trained, or set free. Some of your hindrances and spiritual blockages that you have, will clear them out, get you really free and clear. And then in the future, I'll allow you with your computer or my computer here, where you can tune in when Orty's doing a session, and you can watch and assist and learn how to do it. So that's something I'm going to be doing in the future too. I'm a prophet. The website is something I'm going to do. A trainer in success. These are all things that are in me that I'm going to do in my future. So I can certainly help coach you into it. Number 6, a business owner. Many ideas coming. So all it takes is an idea and sometimes finance. And there's many business ideas that are going to come to you. God's going to give you an idea. He's going to give you the person or the finance or the way to start it, and you're going to be very successful. Number 7, a public speaker, a life, speaking on life, self-esteem, the inner child, knowing yourself, knowing your purpose. So in years to come, you'll travel and you'll be a public speaker, and you'll speak on all the essential things of life: marriage, love, relationships, knowing yourself, knowing your destiny, knowing your purpose, working at your dreams, achieving your dreams, finance, stewardship, integrity, purpose, and you'll speak on these wholesome subjects, and you'll be a real expert in them, and you'll be really, one of these public speakers get 10,000 and stuff for an engagement. Once again, it won't be about the money. These guys can go and they can speak for $10,000, but have people sign up into their programs and their mentoring programs and stuff, and make $100,000 sale with that $10,000 speech. So they can start products and equipping and mentoring programs and all sorts of stuff. Some people can pay up to $10,000 a year just to be mentored and coached by an expert. And I haven't gone into that in your points here. It's not one of the things, but it's something that you'll have programs and videos and classes and mentoring and all sorts of stuff backing up this public speaking. So every time you speak, you may get 10,000 for the event. The people sign up and you pay. My brother went to Anthony Robbins, and he said the guy used to speak 12 hours straight, and he paid $1,500 for 4 days, and the guy came out 12 hours at a time, just spoke for 12 hours, and everyone paid $1,500, right? So there could have been 500 people there. So he could have earned $500,000 in those 4 days, and you'll be at that level and that caliber. So the 10,000 probably wrong. You probably be this powerful speaker. And once again, I can see myself doing the same thing. What I see, what I've found as a prophet, and you call it clairvoyant, but you can just understand me like the best clairvoyant you've ever seen. what I see in people, a lot of the times it's something in me, something I'm going to do. Because I see it with so much clarity, I can see things that are in me that are in you too. And you know that yourself. When you meet people, you get this strong connection with someone who's really, 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 really like you. And it's like you've met in another dimension. You've met, some would say a former life. You knew each other in a former life. It's like you've been traveling around this world and finding it hard to connect with anyone, and no one really understands you or knows you. Now you met someone. Now you've met me, and it's a powerful connection. The more I speak, the more you know that this is destined to be. And if you start developing through this and through meeting face to face, if you start developing this really powerful love for me, something you've never experienced, I'll find that that most of that is because we're so damn similar. And it's like I've been traveling all my life and I was only talking to God today about it, about being so lonely. And then I start doing this, and I've sort of met I'm not trying to win onto you. I'm not trying to crack onto you. I'm not trying to romance you. All I'm saying is you're going to go a long way. And I don't think you have even met someone like me yet. But as we speak face to face and have lunches together and coffees together, as we spend some time together, you're going to fall in love with me. And I just want to warn you that it really isn't me that you're going to fall in love with. It's Jesus possessing me. I've become so much like Jesus that it's really his essence that you'll fall in love with. Although me, myself, have got all these things in me, the same as you. But it's like we're two twins that were separated at birth, and you'll start to feel this strong connection that somewhere in the universe we were connected, and now we've found each other. And that sounds all cliche and new agey and really the stuff of movies, and perhaps it is, but it's real. And you're probably feeling it already. Number 8, you are going to partner with people to help the world's problems, innovative inventions, creative minds, and creative solutions. So it's good to see these beauty pageants, and they say, world peace, world peace, world peace. And people mock these models and beauty pageant people. But so many of these pretty women, these beautiful, stunning women. Another thing, Trump used to run these beauty pageants. I think he liked rubbing shoulders with all the exquisite women. But nearly all of these exquisite-looking women have got ideas to bring world change, to bring lasting change, to bring devastating change to the powers that be, and taking control of a country's resources and redirecting money and changing a nation. And so I feel that as you move out in years to come, innovative people are going to come, inventors are going to come, people are going to seek you out, creative people, and Satan doesn't like this one. And you're going to be such a powerhouse in business and so wealthy and so known and such a big reputation that all the inventors in the world are going to seek you and me out. And I don't like myself saying that. It sounds like I'm going to be a partner, but we're going to be very aligned, whether we're partners or not. My friends watching this, a lot of my friends really watch everything. Say, man, he's using this to crack under this girl. I'm not. Honestly, if you know me, I'm not. But just the words, but this is something I know powerfully. Isaiah chapter 60 in the Bible talks about this sort of person, that the wealthy people in the world will flood and come to the light and seek us out and give money. And these inventors, these creative minds, these powerful people, powerful thinkers, deep people, they're going to seek you out, they're going to seek us out, and they're going to bring their ideas and creativity and all their massive inventions that the Illuminati and the power brokers don't ever back. And we're going to back those things. We're going to implement those things, and we're going to bring real change to the world. Powerful change. Number 9, you're going to amass great wealth. It's been prophesied over me that I'll be in the billions, and I've always had a problem with wealth until the last month, and God's been personally working on me. He gave me the example that Donald Trump was worth 10 billion. And so 120 million or whatever he spent on his campaign was just pocket change to him. And God gave me an example of a technology that I will finance in the future when I've got 10 billion in the bank, that the technology will cost 5 billion to roll out. And it'll be a devastating technology to the powers that be, the people that run the world. I'll just have dropped $5 billion on it to make it happen. And so I know that 20 years out now, in 20 years' time or 30 years' time, I'll be in that position, and that great devastating thing will come and I'll drop it. I feel that you're going to, the more I see, I've never seen anyone with all the 15 the same as me. The more I see, I really, if you know me, if you knew me, you know I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm not saying something about you that aligns with me as some sort of romance, and if you knew me, you'd know that. But you intuitively knew when I wrote those 20 things that it really was the second one. Well, those 20 out of 20 were me, and that really powerfully attracted me to you. But I'm not doing this, you know my heart. I said I'd do this, but this is shocking me more than it's shocking you, believe me. You're going to have great wealth, and I'm going to be a person of great wealth. Whether we're friends or partners or married, whatever, we're going to travel a long time together. And I really sense, I'll tell you something that Christians know, and only a certain amount of Christians know, that in heaven we're showed our whole destiny. And we're told this is all in heaven, printed on a screen, on a scroll. And we're told our destiny, we're shown our lives, and then we actually sign up and agree to it. Okay, I'll do that. So there's certain people that we knew in heaven, what New Age and other religions would call a former life. And me and you knew each other before. I think you're 32 or something, a lot younger than me, maybe 20 years younger. But I came down 20 years before you, but then you came, and all of your life you've been looking for me, your friend, and we were inseparable in heaven, and we're really close. And I'm really close to Mary, and that's why she took over. She's never done that in any of my blueprints. I don't think she's ever taken over in any of my prophecies, but I've done 4 interviews with her in published books of mine, so you can learn more about Mary and them. But me and Mary were inseparable in heaven too. And, you were a great friend of mine in heaven, and we were destined to meet. And, I'm really, it's getting me really emotional now, because I was only talking to God, and you can watch the video an hour before got uploaded, an hour before I started talking to you. But I was only talking to God about how damn lonely I am, and how deep and how full of revelation, and it keeps me so damn lonely. And I've met someone finally who knew me in heaven, and whether you're a partner, whether you're a friend, I prefer to be friends for a year if you started falling in love with me, or you thought you're going to be. I prefer just to be friends, because friends can be so damn honest with each other. You don't have to hide anything from a friend. You can just tell them all your bullshit and all your problems, all your struggles, and you don't have to put on this face for it. You can just be honest. And I prefer you be my friend for a year and be really sure than start something romantically, and me having to hide things and being afraid of telling you things and stuff. I'd rather just be your friend and commit to being a friend for a year. And you know, you're sort of so much like a damn sister to me. It's like, you know, it's really, I've never met anyone that I knew in heaven besides Mary, and she's still in heaven now. But I've never met anyone that was so powerfully close to me in heaven. And it's like I'm meeting my sister. You know, it's like we're twins and we got separated. So anyway, sorry I got emotional. Yeah, probably, I'm not sorry, but that just explains it more. Please understand, I don't do this to normal women. I haven't done one of these blueprints for anyone off that site. Number 10, right now you are going to learn more about who you are and not what people see. And I can show you this. So you can get a iPhone if it's got batteries, and Satan doesn't like this point over. He's sort of identifying which are the most powerful points. You can switch on an iPhone, or we can speak on Zoom face-to-face where you're somewhere else, or and we're talking. I can turn it on and record it, but I can speak for hours and hours about who you are and who you're meant to be. And that's the most powerful thing you can have, is an understanding of who you are, who you really are, and what your potential is. And I can show you that. My friend Orty that I mentioned, that can help you get free of some things and get some counselling and then mentor you into becoming a healer and a counsellor. He can do one of these on you too, and show us other dimensions of you. And I'll be happily pay him for that, to do that. I happily spend $150 and get him to do one too and add to it. But this is no clairvoyant, okay? This isn't coming from Satan. This isn't coming from descended spirits or ascended spirits. This is a whole lot more powerful and true than some of the bullshit they come out with. Sorry, you know, I've never been to a clairvoyant, but I know they're not as accurate as this. Sorry, I don't mean to mock what you believe in. And some of them are powerfully gifted and speak a lot of truth. And please forgive me for my attitude there. I didn't really mean that. But I'd love to train some clairvoyants how to really move to another level. Right, number 11, you're going to model your own brands you create. Yeah. So that's something. I've just started my own brand of clothing, a Shopify shop. And I've made 3 sales in the first week, but my designs and my slogans on my shirts are just unbelievable. And in years to come, as things catch on and I get more popular, that's going to be powerful. But I can see you creating fashion, really nice fashion, even getting sort of ideas, even employing designers to design the fashion, but you're going to be the name of the fashion. You're going to own the label, and you're going to model your own fashion. And maybe that was a secret desire of your heart. I could certainly, you know, we could certainly partner together, that we could, you know, wouldn't take a professional photographer. All we'd need is, you know, photo of you in each of my T-shirt designs, and we'll just have you as the model of all the T-shirt designs, and I'll give you the company, right? All the profits can go to you. Like every T-shirt that we create, it can be you. It can be your finances. I don't really care much for finance. I just want these slogans to. But not only that, not only my designs, not only the things that I create, but I can see you creating and starting your own store online, and even having your own stuff in shops. And I can see you being the model for your own stuff, getting tremendously wealthy through it. Number 12, I think. Can't read my own writing. You're going to get deep level revelations, share them in books, and bring together deep thinkers to form a community that brings real-world solutions. A think tank, so they call them think tanks. I knew a powerful atheist that was a really good writer. I used to write about 5-10 articles a week, and this guy used to churn out 15 articles a day, and he was the best writer on this website. He was amazing, and he was part of a think tank. I don't know if he even started a think tank himself, but it was powerful. And God got me to stop reading. Jesus told me, stop reading this guy's articles. I said, why, man? This is exquisite. It's amazing. And Jesus said, you're going to lose your faith, because everything he's saying is from an atheist point of view. And even though he's a good writer, it's going to damage your faith, the power behind what he's saying. And anyway, how I remember that was he was part of a think tank. So you don't have to be a Christian. Believe me. You spend enough time with me, you'll meet Jesus Christ. We may even introduce you to Jesus Christ in the flesh. He certainly speaks through me for an hour. So you can put on your iPhone and he can just start speaking. For instance, he says to you, and he wants to speak now. I've never done a blueprint where I've had guest speakers. So we'll just allow him to speak, and I'm sure you're not threatened by hearing him. But certainly the people on YouTube would like it. So he's going to speak. Once again, the guy downstairs doesn't like what's going to be said. So this is, I'll just let him speak. The next time you hear my name, he'll be speaking through me. So Matthew's really nervous here, and it's got him nervous. He's never done this on a blueprint, but certainly done it many times in prophecy and carried my voice. You've had tremendous pain in your life, suffering. You've suffered things so deep, so hard, hurt you so deeply that you can't even explain them to people. People really, when you start talking about pain and misunderstanding and loneliness and sadness and trauma and deep trauma, people just don't want to hear about it. When you talk about things like you don't want to live unless you find your purpose, you know, you're not going to suicide, but you really wish you weren't here. Subjects like that, people haven't got a time for. They don't want to listen. You know, you've been there, and you know that, and I know that. And I've been through tremendous pain, and what people don't realise, when I walked the earth, I was tremendously sad. In Isaiah 52:53, it says, and he was a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. And not many people know my life on earth. Not many people really take the time, and not many people really know me like Matthew. And but I suffered a lot of pain. I was very lonely, very rejected, very misunderstood, and very deep, and very much like you. And no one sees your pain. No one knows your pain. No one knows what you struggle with. This world is very shallow. It's full of shallow people, shallow news, shallow books, shallow teaching, shallow people. The so-called experts are pretty damn shallow too, if I can use the word damn with Jesus speaking. You might have to forgive me. That might have been a bit of Matthew coming out. It's just a shallow world. People not only have not got the time or the resources or the capacity to go as deep as you, but they don't want to hear deep. And you test people and you take them, Matthew was right, you take them from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. You keep on sharing stuff, and then people bust out, they don't want to hear it. You very rarely, if you ever, Matthew's not sure, so we're using his intellect, you very rarely got to that deepest level where you want to speak. You very rarely meet people anywhere down near there. Matthew's one of them. I'm one of them. I've got so much for you. I know the pain that's hurt you. I know the struggles. I know the representation of Christians in the world. I know the garbage Christians preach. I know the hypocrisy of the church. I know everything about your life. I know everything about your life. I've seen you try and Heal your pain through different things that I'm not going to tell Matthew, but different things you've done. You've tried to touch your pain and heal your pain. I've seen you look for answers. I've seen you look for answers in books, in movies, in art, in music. Music really touches you. Art touches you. Creative people touch you. They all touch you. But you need someone to hold. You need someone to hug you. And you need someone to listen. And Matthew is my servant, and he does whatever I tell him to do. This is hard for him, very vulnerable for him, to speak with my voice to you, someone who doesn't even possibly believe in me. And so it's so hard for him to do this in the midst of it when he doesn't want to insult you or hurt you. But he's got hours. He's got hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months and years to listen to your pain, to listen to every single event, to listen to all the trauma, to listen to everything. He will give his life for you. You know, you've found a friend who'll stick closer to you than any family. And he's in need of a really deep, beautiful friend. And you were made to meet him, and he was made to meet you. And now you've met each other. And so I'll talk to you anytime. Matthew won't have any control. You'll just be at a cafe. You'll be talking, and he'll say, Jesus wants to say something. And I'll just say something to him. When I want to do things, Matthew's got no control. He just submits to me. And it's a beautiful relationship. And you're a beautiful person. I look forward to speaking to you face to face at the cafe. And you'll see Matthew's eyes change. You'll see his complexion change. You'll know when he starts speaking in my voice that it's a different person. There's a lot more authority in me. There's a lot more power coming through me. There's a lot of me knowing more, and you know that I really know that I really know. No one has ever seen that pain in you. No one's ever known how deep that is. And even Matthew doesn't know, but a good chance you're crying now. But Orty and Matthew's counsellors, his own counsellors, they can fix that pain. They can bring all that pain out, and they can get rid of it for you. And so I'm going to hand you back to Matthew, and he'll go on with his points. So it's Matthew back, okay? Please forgive me for that part, if in any way that offended you, but I have no control. I'm so submitted to Jesus. If he wants to talk, he can talk. Number 13, you're going to speak on justice issues. As a coach, you'll help CEOs and companies to work more ethically. So you're not only going to speak out about justice and how change has to happen, but you're going to coach CEOs and business leaders and powerful people and have them change their business practices to be more ethical and be more sustainable and be more loving. So an example of that is Apple is the finest computers and the finest products, but they use slaves in China and people die and people get poisoning, lead poisoning. I haven't seen the article, but I know that it exists and it's been reported and I've heard it secondhand. I just never read the article. People die making Apple products. People are in slavery. Well, you have such power that you say to Apple, you need to change this. And if they're consulting with you, they'll take your advice. But there's going to be a technology in the future that Matthew's going to be in control of, that the companies of the world will be coming to him for it. And some will get it with a yes. Some will get refused with point blank no. And then some companies will be told, you can have this technology, but you've got to change these things. You need to go to these prophets and they'll tell you the things that you need to change. And they'll go and consult the prophets. And if it's Apple, they'll say, okay, you can have it made in China, but you're going to pay the workers 5 times the amount you're paying them now. So instead of $1 a day or whatever it is, you're going to pay them $10 a day. And instead of 80 hours a week, they're only going to work 38-hour weeks. And instead of them traveling miles and miles and miles, sleeping out in the rain and sleeping, sleeping in corners and stuff in the workplace, you're going to provide them accommodation, and it's going to be their own unit, and they're going to have a mortgage on it. Your wages are going to help them pay that mortgage off. So radical change, and in the future, and this is something Matthew will be doing. That's why you're so aligned to. I don't even know who's speaking. If I said my name in the third person, I'm so tired. I don't care who's speaking. There'll be something I'll be doing in the future, and I can see you doing it too. Number 14, you are going to have a great influence with all your wealth, your ideas, your books, and your platform. So in the future, you're going to be tremendously powerful and with tremendous influence, and you'll be able to speak change, command change, and bring change to many organizations and many people. You're going to have tremendous influence. And number 15, your pain has been your teacher to create your potential. So there's the answer. Jesus talked about your pain back when we left the points, and he was talking. He knows about that pain. I know about it a little bit now since he talked about it, but within a couple of days, I'll just know you've had some pain, but I won't know as much because prophecy flows through me. So I don't remember. I won't remember a lot. I will remember you're very much aligned to me. Everything on your thing, except even creating my own brand, but you'll create different brands. But everything on your thing is the same as my future. And so I will either be besties, best buddies, or I'll just be this guy that has one of the most stunning wives in the world. So we've only got that future. Both together, both doing things, either single and friends or married and a dynamic couple. And never done a blueprint that sounds like a marriage proposal. But I don't, if you know me, if you talk to my friends, I'll put you in front of 10 of my friends and have them watch this and then give you their feedback saying, no, that's just Matthew, man. He just talks like that. So I hope this hasn't scared you or worried you. I know it's profound and it's huge and it's big. The first step is to get to know yourself, get to know your potential. The first step from here, besides meeting in a cafe with a transcript of it, all I'd have to do is bring my printout on my pad here, and I know what I've written, and I can unpack that with you. But the first step is getting to know you, your potential, and I can help you with that. One of the first steps is to get one of these blueprints off my friend Orty, and we'll work on that. One of the future steps is to have like a therapy session with Orty or my counsellor, and them start leading you out of some stuff. And a lot of this is my future, and we'll step in and do this together. So I hope this has really blessed you. I've got no idea how long it is, or how long it went. But I hope when you wake in the morning, you're refreshed by this. You certainly know who I look like now, and you don't know that I've got tracksuit pants underneath here, and people now watching the video know that I have. So I hope that you're happy with this. Once again, I'll share with you that this can be totally overwhelming, and you may run away from this and say, that's no way, that's me, he's just making up all this craziness. But if you go intuitively into your spirit, if you go into your heart and you re-listen to this, you know that you can do every one of these things. It seems that 15 of them you mightn't be able to accomplish, but with wealth and time and power, and you're not working a full-time job, but you're working on this full-time, you can achieve it. And certainly, with me by your side, whether as a friend or as your partner, I don't really mind. Fate is fate. You can't force things in this world, and I've certainly learned not to force things. So whether I'm your friend or your partner, I don't mind saying either. Just promise me something. Just promise and commit me to something. Write it in your email when you respond to this. Promise me we can just be friends for a year. Well, I want to have one person in the world that I can just be me with. Just all my faults and all my struggles and all my trials and all my hardships and everything. And, when I'm pushed for patience or I'm pushed for money or pushed to extremes, when I get angry, when I get frustrated, I want to have someone that I can just be me with. And if you promise me that you can just let me be me, well, I'll just sharpen you. It's like a diamond found in the rough. It needs to be all the mud off it, and then it gets a professional that just cuts facets into it, and then it becomes this beautiful diamond. But normally they're just like round rocks, if you've seen it on movies, and then it's got to be it's got to be cut off, then it becomes a beautiful diamond. Well, you've met the person who has got the ability in God and the wisdom and the power and the revelation and the knowledge and the love to cut those facets off you. So you wait with me, walk with me long enough, and we'll get all those facets cut off, and you'll just be this exquisite person who's just kicking goals everywhere she goes. And believe me, I'm not impressed in any way with your beauty, right? That's not something that attracts me. I've been with some stunning women sexually, but they never loved me. And I feel we've just got such a powerful resonance, just a powerful connection, just powerfully aligned. You're aligned in everything that I'm called to be. There's another 15 or 20 things that I'm aligned to call to do, and I'm sure if Orty starts mentioning them, all of his ones will be the same as me too. So I got emotional. This has taken long, but you can watch as long as you want to watch. I got emotional when I could see you in heaven with me, and I could see us together. And I got emotional that I found one of my friends from heaven. And you can look at this and say, this guy's totally crazy and never contact me again. And it'll break my heart. And but I'll get over it. I've been over, you think you've suffered some pain. You think you've been through some trauma. We spend enough time and you start asking me about my trauma, it'll make you cry every time. Every time I share something, you'll be crying. And I think every time you share your painful things, I'll be crying. And I think sometimes we'll have to be in my house or in your house or out of the public, because I think when we start sharing this stuff, we're just going to be weeping and both of us are going to be crying. And I think we'll just be hugging each other and holding each other. Because crying's really good when it's the right time. Crying can get a lot of pain out. It can wash the pain. And I'll get Orty's a good counsellor, and my counsellors are really good counsellors, and I can finance you. I can pay for my counsellors if you haven't got money. I can pay for my counsellors to help sharpen you and become really good. The things I can't do, I can get them to do. And I really trust them. They're really bringing me on fire. And I could have never been capable of doing this 6 months ago, sharing this message. And it's going to break my heart if we can't be friends. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever be as broken as not being able to be your friend. And yet, I give this to you. And you can choose to receive it and say, that's great, but Matthew, you're just too intense for me, and I can handle it. I did this for you, and I've never done this for one of the girls on the site, and I've really only done 2 of these for free. And so I felt compelled to do it, and the whole of heaven's been behind this one. They've been waiting. They've been waiting all these years for us to meet, and now we've met. And it's interesting, you wrote in the email, can you call me Matt? And, I only allow really special people to call me Matt. It's funny how you intuitively ask me if you can call me Matt. Very, very, very few people have ever called me Matt. And it's a very special and intimate name to me. And but intuitively just felt it. When I did those 20 things, you said there's two theories. One theory is you write this to all the girls. My second theory is that you just wrote this for me, and it's just a beautiful message. And of course I just wrote it for you, but you intuitively knew that. And you got a really strong intuition. You're going to become a very powerful prophet, or as you understand, a clairvoyant. And I can coach you how to become a really good one. And with that, I'm talking for too long. I'm sure when you get up, you'll feel like ringing me. I think I'm going to stay up for tonight. And so I think I'll be awake when you wake up in the morning. And I hope that you enjoy it. I don't want this to be long. We've got hours and hours and years to talk. God bless.